Hello, hello, hello. Thanks for clicking on our faces. We are here to talk about the series finale, or pretty much the whole season or series in general of The Boroughs. This was dropped as like a binge on Netflix, and I took full advantage because I couldn't just stop on episode 2. I had to go all the way to the end.
Same
Um,
here.
yeah, see, so overall, my opinion of the season or the series, because again, it didn't get fully picked up for season 2, um, was positive. Like it gave us everything that I was looking for in a show. You got the mystery, you got the action, you got a little inquiry. All of it was very well acted,
Yes.
and yeah, and the script was great. There were a couple things at the end, not necessarily like a gripe, but certain things that were done by the characters that confused me as an audience member who very much wouldn't have made some of those decisions.
Mm.
But we'll get into it. So we found out the true evil of the show, which of course we're going to say is Blaine Shaw and his wife, Mrs. Shaw. She's actually, out of the two, she seems to be the more cutthroat. She's the one who's really kind of like pushing this agenda here. And Blaine, although also evil, very much seemed to be doing it out of love for his wife, right? Um,
Hmm.
that kind of made me feel a kind of, I was like, okay, I sympathize with their kind of situation, but at the same time, you're taking advantage of all these elderly people. You're picking and choosing who lives, because we find out through the course of the series that they are essentially cannibalizing this being, like this, the blood of this entity called Mother, this image of her. Now, question: when you first saw her, I was like, "Hold on, is that Lily? Is that?" I thought it was Lily, the wife. I thought it was Sam Cooper's
That's
wife.
wild. That's wild. I didn't think that, but now that you say that, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I was like, "Hold on, that's her. Look at the guy." But yeah, she's they didn't so much explain what Mother was. Do you think she's an
Well,
alien?
no,
Is
well,
she
I don't know because, and that's the thing. That's probably what the answers would have been. What would have been answered in season 2,
Mhm.
because they just said that they found an egg on this land and then just started building this whole thing based off of her blood's ability to keep them young.
Yeah.
And they did this for about 80 years. And
Wow.
they did everything in their power to keep her alive, but also for vanity's sake, for
Mhm.
just the desire to stay young. Like everything about this was just about just the desire to stay young and to not waste time, and the desire to I guess just enjoy your
Mhm.
youth. Uh oh.
Mhm.
Oh,
Sorry.
you can. Okay. I guess the desire to just enjoy your youth, because
Yeah.
everything about her, at least about Mother was a prisoner, but she had babies. But
Oh,
then
yeah.
the interesting thing is that the babies look nothing like her, and the reason why is because she drank so much of the brain fluid
Yeah, she started to look like a
that
human.
she started to take a human form,
Yeah,
which
I wish that we would have gotten a little bit more of an explanation though as to what she was, because I'm still confused. If she's an alien, is she a god, a deity? Is she like some sort of monster that they found this egg
hmm
to? And I wonder how the jump happened between, oh yeah, we found this egg, to, oh yeah, let me drink this blood of this thing that we found. Like, how did we get
facts. And the other thing was the old black man when he
there?
found that
Art.
tree. Yeah, Art,
Uh-huh.
right? Like he found that tree,
Oh yeah.
and then
Hmm.
suddenly became young, right? So
Yeah.
now, I wish they would have delved more into that tree. Well,
Mhm.
me the plant guy,
Yeah,
but
because
like,
what was up with that? Because they did mention, only thing that they really mentioned about the tree was that the children, mother's children, the alien things kind of
mhm,
put together this shrine for her, for because that's going to be the location where she was going to die, right?
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
what's up with the peach? Like that
Yeah.
explain that and why it was able to make Art young temporarily, but also poison Mrs. Shaw, right? Because she
Mm.
couldn't eat it. She was throwing up and everything else. It
Right.
just
Right.
didn't settle with her. So I wonder what that thing was and why was it only one? Because when he went back, it was no more peaches, right? It was nothing
Yeah,
there.
he had a whole bunch, and he was like staying young with all of these peaches, and I wonder what that had to do with any of that.
Yeah, but also it was like a temporary thing where it seems like there when they drink the blood of mother, they like have the effects of youth a lot longer. Or do you think it's
Probably.
because her blood lasts longer, or were they just repeatedly consuming
Well,
it?
I mean, well, maybe it has something to do with her personality because our art is all about instant gratification. Like,
Okay.
I think throughout this whole thing, I don't think he was sober once because he was
Okay.
just getting high all the time. Like, he was
Mhm.
the Snoop Dogg of the show. Because
Yeah, yeah.
it was, 24/7, just getting high
Mhm.
on it, like, no matter what he was doing.
Yeah, that's because
So,
his wife was cheating on him.
facts, facts,
Well, is
and
it
he
cheating
he
though? Is
did
it
not
cheating
let
because
her live that down.
they opened up the marriage, so it's like, you can only be but so mad after you decide to open it up. She fell in love with Jack,
Mhm.
and it became like a whole triangle situation, and apparently the deal was they weren't supposed to fall in love with these other people who they were sleeping with their marriage, but she did, and he was very much upset about that, which probably was the reason why he was so overly medicating himself. I'll say medicating.
I mean, yeah,
Um,
you know what? You might be right. But
mhm,
that's. I mean, I'm sorry. That's just what you get when you try to open things up like that. Like you can fall
mhm.
for somebody else. You can't. I mean, you can say that like, no, I'm not gonna da da da. But then if you feeling somebody else, you feeling somebody else. It's that simple.
Yeah,
You shouldn't have
see,
put
and he
yourself in
was
that position.
when he found Jack's shirt in her closet. Oh man, he was torn to
Mhm.
pieces.
Yeah,
He was
man, that
done.
was sad.
But yeah, the performances were great, and also I just wanted to shout out Wally, because
Oh, Wally.
he played like a pivotal role in this. I didn't expect his role to be so big because we found out that he's a doctor in the
Mhm.
series, and because of his and Sam's like attempts to lure these aliens in and figure out more about these aliens, um, he made some contraption where he could trap the aliens or at least lure them out with like some brain cells or brain juice or whatever the heck it's called.
Mhm.
And that's what kind of interested the Shaws into getting him to work for the Boroughs. So whole time I was thinking when he first said, "Hey guys, there's a deal. We can take it and live out in the boroughs. We just can't leave here." I thought he completely flipped. I thought
Mhm.
he turned them in. He was taking a deal because he has terminal cancer, as we discovered like in one of the earlier episodes.
Mhm.
I thought he was completely like turned on them traitor at
No,
first. And
not really. It sounds like an old person. It's just he was just doing what was best for him. And that
yeah,
guy clearly, like, you learn a lot throughout as far as learning about his character. He
mhm.
um he suffered a lot. Like, and mind you, he even took it back to AIDS. Like,
Oh yeah.
he had terminal cancer. He had somebody that he loved, probably during the height of the AIDS epidemic,
Hmm.
um, like in the 80s, where a lot of people died of AIDS. And, the guy definitely was suffering a lot. And he got to the point where, like, he saw a way out to solve a lot of illnesses, including his
Hmm.
own. Like, he,
Yeah.
and mind you, all of a sudden his hair was black, and
Yeah.
he was looking much better. He didn't have to run home to get all of these meds and all of these things. He
Hmm.
was on a strict medicinal diet. Like, it was he definitely just wanted to get away from that, and to also help people. So he just saw this as a way of using them. Because the other thing I found interesting is, like, when he described how foolish they were with these powers. Was like,
Okay.
and like, because he was just like, they just use it to, like, play pickleball, and like, and hang around and just do bullshit. Well, they have this ability to stay young forever,
Hmm.
and they did look young. Like I mean,
Yeah.
which was crazy, you know. But the less they had of their stuff, the less effective it was. Which that part was interesting as well.
Yeah. And also the illusion of scarcity, because they were like giving Hank, who we find out is a lot older than what he looks and appeared to
Hmm.
be. They were giving him like rations of the blood as if like they were running out. But in that same episode, they dipped in a whole bath of the golden blood at
Hmm.
their, like, at their own personal, private apartment. So it's
Hmm.
like you really see how these minds work. It's like, okay, little for you, but everything for me kind of situation. And
Yeah, I mean, like vanity is real. Like it's
mhm.
very very real. Like they and this whole thing more than anything was just about them, DK sticking together forever and just being young. I mean, a part of that was kind of nice because like when they were dying, they held hands because
Yeah.
the wife was about to blow up. Like you know,
Uh-huh.
that was nice. Like they did. They would just do insane things for love, basically. You know,
Yeah.
I it was giving Captain America and
Oh, what's her name?
the yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I forget her name. Oh my God, it's escaping me. But the brown headed British
Yeah,
lady. Yeah. Uh-huh.
exactly. The British chick, I think it's Maggie or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's exactly what this whole
Captain
thing with
Carter.
them. Yes,
Yeah.
Maggie Carter. Yes, yes,
Uh-huh.
yes, yes, yes.
So
That's good.
here's the thing though, right? I do want to talk about a couple other characters, but I have this nagging question. Because as we see at the end of the series, after, Sam gets his moment with the memory of his wife, which was a beautiful scene, like them dancing,
Hmm.
I was crying. It was really well put together.
Yeah,
Um, but he's back in his apartment with all of his friends and family, and we see him glitch out in the mirror, right? So to you, what does that mean to you? Because I'm like, does that mean did he actually die, and this is just like an extended memory or some sort of like alternate kind of memory of him? Is this the mother trying to reach out? Did she not completely die and she's trying to communicate with him yet again? Like, what
well,
did you
he
interpret?
he clearly has gotten some type of ability in order to communicate. Right?
Okay.
He clearly has some type of like higher intelligence.
Hmm.
Because he communicated, he was able to communicate with the quote unquote insane guy in the early episodes,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
then he was the only one that was able to communicate with Mother at the end, and he
Yeah.
understood everything that she wanted, where she wanted to go, and all of these things. So what I think is that like while the kids were crawling around, they put something in him so that
Oh,
now
when they
he
were feeding on, because they were, feeding on
Mhm.
everybody, the whole
Exactly.
community.
Exactly.
Uh,
I got a feeling that they made him a special batch of something.
well, they
So,
did say there was this one scene when he was in, like, I think they call it the manor, where they have the patients or the senior citizens who had like really bad dementia, and we learned that that's
mhm,
because these are the ones who were regularly getting fed on by these monsters or these aliens.
mhm,
There
mhm.
was a woman. She played, and because I've been rewatching Battlestar Galactica, she played the president in Battlestar Galactica.
Mm.
And she had to have her memory like kind of like triggered, cued by the cigarette. That woman, she
Oh
mentioned,
yeah.
yeah, she mentioned to him it was because he has his mind in two places, in two worlds, right? So he's not all the way in dementia, but he's still kind of like lucid, and it's like this weird thing between, because of the death of his wife, it like triggered something in his mind that made him not all the way there, and that's how Mother was able to best communicate through him, or something along those lines, right? But again, that makes me wonder: is Mother dead? Is that what the glitch was trying to tell us? That she didn't all the way die, or did he die and it was just like an interpretation of his afterlife? I
Hmm.
have no idea. I wish this is
Damn.
when I
That's
wish
how
it
we
has a
would have
second
found out.
season. Yeah, because there's still so many questions. But to take it back to some of our other characters who we haven't really spoken much about, there is Renee, Renee
Oh,
had a thing with Pez. Like, what?
mm,
I was shocked at this whole situation. I was like, hold on, he really trying to smash one of the citizens at the
I
place at his job,
mean,
basically at his place of employment.
see, here's the thing. There's not a lot of options in the
Oh,
book. She's got to
what?
be probably the youngest option there.
Yeah.
Because,
Uh-huh.
you know what I mean? And like, if all of a sudden, like 10, 20-year olds start passing through, she's not going to look so good.
I don't, but he did. It's not like he lived like he was on, permanently on the boroughs. I would assume he had an apartment somewhere else outside. So it's
Well, I
like he just
mean,
had a thing for her. He has a TS. He likes the older lady.
I guess he does. He likes the coolness.
Uh-huh.
Um, but like I said before, there wasn't a lot of options. So, and the thing is that the way they had the boroughs was pretty like
Uh-huh.
because next to the boroughs is nothing but the desert.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and anything close by was pretty far. And then
Hmm.
the only other woman that was around was the waitress at the diner,
Yeah.
and she wasn't she definitely was not a treat. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, Renee, she's a fine wine, huh?
Yeah, she is. She is a fine one. We'll give her that.
Man, there was a point in the series that I thought that he like betrayed them as well. Like when he went back to the Boroughs to try to get um Wiley's medicine, I thought maybe
Mm,
he like, turned him in because we see that shortly after Blaine Shaw came with, his whole crew cars and picked him up from that
yeah, he
restaurant.
showed up out of nowhere, but somebody
Mhm.
else snitched. But then that's
Yeah.
that's just the way of a small town. Like
Hmm.
any stuff, everybody knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they bored as hell.
But my question is, right? At the end of the final episode where they have to decided that they're gonna rescue mother and do take her to wherever her burial place is.
Hmm.
My question is why do all of that, right? As they were doing this, I was thinking if she just wants to die, that was her big wish. Mother, she said she just wants to die. She was about to die in the lab. They could have just left her there.
No, she wanted to die when the kids had built that
The
spaceport.
kids. And that was another thing because why in my mind I'm thinking, okay, these aliens are feeding off of humans, right? This is what they feed off of humans, basically.
Mhm.
Why would I go in to set these goddamn aliens free from the cages, knowing that that's what they do? And if mom's not around for them to like, kind of circle around, are they just going to be out here in the world killing folks?
Well, I
I
mean, they
said,
didn't really kill anybody though. That's the
they
thing
killed
because
Jack. Killed
all
Jack.
they did was like
R.I.P. to Jack.
no, because like I what about he died from getting killed? Because that part I don't remember. How did he die? Wasn't it a heart attack?
He died because that thing was feeding on him. It was feeding him. And the old lady in the first episode, she died with the aliens. They kill people.
Well, I don't remember them killing anybody. I
They
remember them
kill them.
feeding on everybody, but I don't remember them killing anybody. That's the
Even if
thing.
they just fed, like so say if we go with they don't kill people, but they feed off of people. Why would I release something into the world that's feeding off of us? Like that's
Nah, I hear
crazy.
you. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you 100%. Because like
Yeah,
now,
mom would
I guess we would find out in season two if they would have to do it. What would happen with the kids? I guess that's the
yeah.
big question that's made. That
And I wonder how many kids are left alive because I don't think all it seemed like they had a lot in the cages. So I
mm,
don't think all of them were there at the very end with mother when she had that whole explosion. Uh, do you think all of them are done? Hey, thanks for being a shameful no species.
I don't know. I don't think so. I doubt it because the
Uh-huh.
kids built to kind of build her gravesite.
Okay. Uh-huh.
The kids they built the gravesite and then as soon as she got there, she just got into position to start exploding, and she was cheating.
Okay.
It was like a couple of crows built it. Like they had all these little trinkets that they found.
Yeah.
Like
There's so much
it was
random stuff.
yeah, yeah, it was wild. But I mean, it must have been just stuff they found in the tunnel. You know,
So
so
my last question, right? is we
Mm,
know that mother's blood gives you some sort of like eternal youth, right?
mhm,
But does it give you like a like eternal life at all? Because for example, Lily died
mhm.
and she basically resurrected her, right? Also, we saw that freaking Hank, I thought him, being thrown off a cliff in a car in an explosion of the car meant that he died. But
Mm.
we find out that he didn't die. He was either brought back or he just didn't die. Do you think that this blood makes it so that you cannot die, or
Well, yeah,
that?
because like I remember when the main bad guy was making his speech for the 75th anniversary, and
Uh-huh.
he was talking about how aging just breaks you down and eventually turns you into dust,
Yeah.
right? I think that, and then the whole thing with the peach kind of fixing our tan. I
Yeah.
think what it does is kind of like reverses the aging process or stops the organs from breaking down, right? So that's why they kind of just they
So does
stick
it
to
mean it can resurrect you though?
not necessarily resurrect you, but just keep you at a certain pace, right? Because they had to consistently drink this stuff. They had to consistently do this, and the old lady was looking for a different method
Okay.
because once she didn't have her juice, her little tang, all of a sudden she's starting to transform into like this old thing. And then when Art was like, "What are you?" The only thing she said was a lot.
Yeah.
So I was always curious as to how old they really were because when she didn't have her stuff, her body broke down quickly. She looked like a corpse.
Yeah.
And look there, she looks like she's 31 years old.
Uh-huh.
You know
I
what I
don't
mean?
know. I'm leaning towards it. It has some sort of like resurrection, because how is it that Hank was still alive after literally being drove off a cliff in a car crash? And
Remember, she's the one who found him, though. After the car crash, he was laying there, and then all of a sudden, you see him laying there, and you see her feet show up. She's
uh-huh.
the one who found him. So, like, if she would have left him there, because it's not like he got up on his own, right? So
Okay.
she's the one who found him. So she probably put some stuff in him to keep him back. But mind you, it didn't even work that well because later on, you
Yeah,
notice
he ain't got shit.
how exactly. So it didn't
He's
necessarily fix. It certainly didn't fix as much as she got fixed.
Yeah, uh-huh. Because they're
And then the
rationing
other
out
one,
his blood. That's why all the
yeah,
pores get the rations.
yeah. And then mind you, the real estate lady,
Oh
when
yeah.
when
Uh-huh.
she
Yeah.
got when she got hit with the TVs,
Mhm.
all of a sudden there were creases and stuff all in her face.
Yeah.
As soon as the TV's turned off, like it went back to normal.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
it's like it's like those people that use a lot of skincare products
Uh-huh.
and they just look flawless all the time. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like Korean girls, like
Mhm.
they use all of this stuff, and then they look super young. But then you
Mhm.
take that away, and all of a sudden everything just pops up.
Well, it's left a bunch of questions. I would have enjoyed a season two, even though I do feel like it definitely wrapped up in a satisfying enough way. Like it left questions, but it wasn't to the point that it was like a cliffhanger. We'll never know what happens, right? I can appreciate that with the
It
series.
felt
So
like a movie.
yeah, it did. It felt like a really long like
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
Um, so if
I'm
you're
good
watching,
with it.
you're like kind of if you're watching, hopefully you've seen it already because we talked about a lot of spoilers. But don't
Hmm.
let the fact that it was canceled dissuade you from watching the show, because it did wrap things
Yeah.
up pretty neatly. Um,
Definitely was a good Netflix show. Oh,
fantastic.
you
But
know, I, yeah.
that was the show, everyone. Please like the video if you liked the video. Thank you for being here and join us for some more episode or show discussions. And we
Hmm.
will see you later. Goodbye. See ya.